Hello everyone, I Nidhi, your friend and coach, welcome you to your very own channel English with Nidhi. And in this video, we'll cover the second part of a poem from class 12th CBSE English Literature book Flamingo. And the poem is A Roadside Stand by the poet Robert Frost. The topics we covered in part first of the video include introduction to the poem, reading the poem, brief introduction to the poet, difficult words and their meanings, and line-wise explanation of the poem wherein we covered the first 15 lines. We will try covering the rest of the poem summary and explanation, rhyme scheme and other poetic devices, central idea or message, and important MCQs in this video. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Let's quickly summarize lines 1 to 15 before we head forward. The poem begins with a description of a small roadside stand set up by the poor farmers. They sell a few goods to make some money. The stand is simple and not very attractive, but it represents farmers' hope for a better life. The farmers hope that the passing city folks will stop and buy something, giving them a chance to earn a little money. However, the city people often pass by without stopping, and when they do stop, they sometimes criticize the stand or the goods sold there. Moving on, let's cover the line-by-line explanation of rest of the poem. Line 16 to 22. Line 16. The hurt to the scenery wouldn't be my complaint. Here, the poet says that he isn't personally bothered by the stand's appearance spoiling the scenery. Line 17. So much has the trusting sorrow of what is unsaid. That is, he is more concerned about the unspoken sadness and trust of the rural and unprivileged people. Line 18. Here, far from the city we make our roadside stand. That is, in this remote place away from the city, they have set up the stand. Line 19. And ask for some city money to feel in hand. That is, they are asking for a little bit of money from the city people to improve their lives by selling goods at the roadside stand. Line 20. To try if it will not make our being expand. That is, they hope that this money will help them grow and live better. Line 22. And give us the life of the moving pictures promise. That is, the poor people hope that this money which they shall earn by selling goods will help them fulfill the dream of living a glamorous life they see in the movies. Line 22. That the party in power is said to be keeping from us. That is, they feel that the government in power is keeping away this better life from them. Lines 23 to 31. Line 23. It is in the news that all the pitiful kin. Here, the poet mentions that there is a news about the poor rural people. Line 24. Are to be bought out and mercifully gathered in. That is, there are plans to buy their land and relocate them. Line 25. To live in villages near the theatre and the store. That is, they will be moved to village with facilities like theatres and stores. Line 26. Where they won't have to think about themselves anymore. That is, in these new places, everything will be provided. So, they won't need to be self-reliant. Line 27. While greedy good doers, beneficent beasts of prey. Here, the poet criticizes those who claim to help, because they actually are greedy and exploit these poor unprivileged people for their own good. Line 28. Swarm over their life enforcing benefits. That is, these people impose their idea of help on the rural people. Line 29. They are calculated to soothe them out of their wits. That is, the help is designed to pacify the rural people, making them dependent. Line 30. And by teaching them how to sleep, they sleep all day. Here, the poet says that the so-called help will make the rural people lazy and unproductive. Line 31. destroy their sleeping at night the ancient way. That is, it also ruins their natural way of living and sleeping patterns. Lines 32 to 41. Line 32. Sometimes I feel myself I can hardly bear. Here, the poet feels a deep emotional burden and can barely tolerate the overwhelming sadness of the situation. Line 33. The thought of so much childish longing in vain. Here, the poet feels sorrow for the poor people's hope, like that of the children, that something good might happen, but their desires are in vain, as their hopes remain unmet. Line 34. The sadness that lurks near the open window there. That is, there is an underlying sadness in the place where the roadside stand is, symbolizing the unfulfilled dreams of the poor running it. The open window suggests openness to the world, but there is only sadness instead of opportunity. Line 35. That waits all day in almost open prayer. That is, the people at the roadside stand are waiting desperately for help, hoping for a customer to stop, almost praying for some relief from their suffering. Line 36. For the squeal of brakes, the sound of a stopping car. That is, they are waiting for the sound of a car stopping, a sign that someone might be interested in their goods. Line 37. Of all the thousand selfish cars pass. That is, there are so many cars that pass by, but most of them are selfish. They are neither stopping nor showing any interest in the roadside stand. Line 38. Just want to inquire what a farmer's prices are. Here the poor people wish just for one car to stop and ask about the prices of the goods being sold at the stand, showing some genuine interest. Line 39. And one did stop, but only to plow up grass. That is, finally one car does stop, but not to buy anything. Instead, it uses the yard to turn around, driving over the grass, which symbolizes further disregard for the people at the stand. Line 40. In using the yard to back and turn around. That is, the car backs up and turns around, treating the roadside stand's yard as a place for convenience without any regard for the people there. Line 41. And another to ask the way to where it was bound. That is, another car stops but only to ask for the directions, not to buy anything or offer any help. Last but not the least, lines 42 to 51. Line 42. And another to ask, could they sell it a gallon of gas? That is, yet another car stops, but only to ask if the people at the stand sell gallon of gas or not. Line 43. They couldn't, this crossly, they had none, didn't it see? Here, the poet describes the exchange with irritation, showing that the people at the stand were frustrated by the car's demands for gas, which they didn't have. Line 44. No. In country money, the country scale of gain. The poet points out that the people at the roadside stand don't have the same kind of financial success as people in the city, and their efforts don't result in much profit. Line 45. The requisite lift of spirit has never been found. That is, the unprivileged poor people are missing hope and joy that would come from achieving their goals as their struggles continue without relief. Line 46. Or so, the voice of country seems to complain. Here the poet says that the entire country, particularly those in the rural areas, seem to be complaining about being overlooked and neglected by the society. Line 47. I can't help owning the great relief it would be. Frost expresses a strong desire of relief from this pain, a feeling of deep empathy for the people at the stand. Line 48. To put these people at one stroke out of their pain. He wishes that he could help the people at the stand all at once, ending their misery and suffering with one action. Line 49. And then, next day, as I come back into the scene, here he mentions how after the emotional turmoil, they return to more rational and practical mindset, leaving behind the heavy feeling of the previous day. Line 50. I wonder how I should like you to come to me. Here the poet wonders how they would feel if someone were to come to them and offer help in a similar way, providing them relief from their own pain. Line 51. And offer to put me gently out of my pain. Frost contemplates the idea of someone offering them comfort or relief from their struggles, just as he wishes he could help the poor at the roadside stand. This marks the end of line by line explanation of the 51 line poem. Moving on, let's cover the rhyme scheme and other poetic devices from the poem. Rhyme scheme. While a roadside stand doesn't necessarily stick to a regular rhyme scheme, some say that the poem follows an AB rhyme scheme. Poetic devices. Number 1. Alliteration. Example: greedy good doers, beneficent beasts, polished traffic. 2. Personification. The roadside stand is personified in the poem. It is depicted as if it can feel, with phrases like the sadness that lurks, which indicates the emotional depth. 3. Metaphor. The rich are referred as the greedy good doers. 4. Symbolism. The roadside stand symbolizes the rural people's struggle to make a living and their longing for progress. 5. Imagery. Vivid visual descriptions are used to create mental images. For example, the polished traffic passed with a mind ahead. Moving on, let's cover the central theme of the poem. Central theme: social injustice and inequality. Central message. The central message of the poem is a critique of the superficial attitude of the wealthy towards the poor. Moving on, let's cover the important MCQs from the poem. Multiple choice questions. Question number 1. Who is the poet of the poem, The Roadside Stand? A. William Wordsworth, B. Robert Frost, C. John Keats, or D. T.S. Eliot? And the correct answer is option number B, Robert Frost. Question number 2. What does the roadside stand symbolize? A. Wealth, B. Rural deprivation and hope for betterment, C. Nature's beauty, and D. Travel and adventure. And the correct answer is option number B, rural deprivation and hope for betterment. Question number 3. What is the central theme of the poem, Roadside Stand? A. Urban development, B. Poverty and helplessness of the rural people, C. Nature's beauty, or D. The joy of travel. And the correct answer is option number B, poverty and helplessness of the rural people. Question number 4. What does the villagers expect from the passing traffic? A. Donations, B. Attention in business, C. Food supplies, or D. Charity. And the correct answer is option number B, attention in business. Question number 5. What is the attitude of the city people towards the stand? A. Admiration, B. Sympathy, C. Indifference and ignorance, or D. Encouragement. And the correct answer is option number C, indifference and ignorance. Question number 6. How do the villagers feel when no one stops at their stand? A. Angry, B. Sad and helpless, C. Happy, or D. Indifferent. And the correct answer is option number B, sad and helpless. Question number 7. What do the villagers sell at the roadside stand? A. Fruits and vegetables, B. Clothes, C. Handkerchiefs, or D. Books. And the correct answer is option number A, fruits and vegetables. Question number 8. What is the tone of the poem? A. Optimistic, B. Humorous, melancholic and critical, or D. Angry. And the correct answer is option number C, melancholic and critical. Question number 9. What does the poet criticize through the poem? A. Urbanization, B. Rural values, C. The exploitation of the poor by the rich, or D. Traditional farming methods. And the correct answer is the exploitation of the poor by the rich. Question number 10. What is the hope of the roadside stand owner? A. To become rich. B. To improve their condition by selling goods. C. To close the stand. Or D. To move to the city. And the correct answer is option number B. To improve their condition by selling goods. Question number 11. What do the poet mean by the sadness that lurks? A. The inevitable fate of the villagers. B. The sadness of the urban people. C. The joy of helping the poor. Or D. The hardships of farming. And the correct answer is option number A. The inevitable fate of the villagers. Question number 12. What does the word stand in the title metaphorically represent? A. Progress. B. Stagnation and hope. C. Travel. Or D. A bus stop. And the correct answer is option number B. Stagnation and hope. So that's it for the video today. Let's quickly summarize the things we covered so far in the poem. 1. We covered the detailed line by line explanation of the poem from line 16 to 51. 2. We covered the rhyme scheme. And 3. We covered the poetic devices from the poem. 4 and 5. We covered the central theme and central message of the poem. And 6. We covered 12 multiple choice questions from the poem. Try answering the multiple choice questions by yourself and comment down the number of questions you answered correctly in the comment section. I'll be back with yet another poem in yet another video. Till then, take care and study hard. Recommend the channel to your friends and family and help us grow. Also, like, share and subscribe to your very own channel for more such content. Press the notification icon to never miss an update. See you soon. Thank you.